Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel to another episode of Darkfire Heroes. In today's video we want to jump back again at the arena. We will look at the hero race mode and we will talk about the spells which I am using and which I definitely can recommend. And we want to talk about how I am using them to win most of the fights. So if you're new at the channel, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for free. Let's directly jump into the video and into the thematic. Here we are at the hero race mode. That's the mode I have focused on, and right now I am at 8,000 trophies and I'm using right now Sludge, Freeze, Rage, Daze and the Myconid. And now we want to look at each spell I am using, why I can recommend it and how I'm using it. And therefore I have prepared some video sequences and at the end a really intense and nice fight with a nice comeback. So here we go, and first of all on the top left side we will go right after the levels. There's the Sludge spell. Sludge is a really good one. It slows down the enemies for a duration of 7.2 seconds in a circle, and this spell is really good to use at the race as your line at the race is quite small and Sludge is on the whole way, so you cannot run around it and the enemies need to run through it, and that's why they are slowed. Its alone is already really strong, but in combination with the War Golem and the Golems, there is a really nice tactic which I definitely can recommend. So we are placing just the Golems behind the enemy keeps running back, and when he turns around to push the lane, just place Sludge in front of him, but we will see that later on in the video. So Sludge is really nice to use, and first of all, maybe, or before we keep on going, I'm using most of these spells and placing it on the enemy's line. I'm not using any heal to place it on my line to heal the units. I'm not using any damaging spells to kill the enemies on my lane. It is much more worse to slow down the enemy so that you are faster than him. As next we have the freezing spell, and he is good to use, or it is good to use as well. But Sludge slows down the enemy, freeze them in for 5 seconds, but this duration is decreased depending on the amount of protection the enemy heroes have, and normally the player is equipping damage and protection to the heroes at the race mode. That's why freeze is good to use, but be careful, there are some heroes with good base protection and further equipped items. They will be nearly instantly out of the freezing spell and can keep on pushing. That's why I'm using this one, but there are still, on a higher level it would be more useful, but there are still some ways to counter the freezing spell. As next we have the Myconid, and Myconid, yeah, that is one of the best spells in the game, especially in the hero race mode, as you're summoning a Myconid and place him into the enemy's group. They need to fight shortly against him and then they will get stunned for quite long. That's why he's really useful, and I'm using him, for example, right at the beginning. As it costs only 3 mana, will be obtainable really early in the game. So it is really nice to have a head start in front of your opponent. Furthermore, there is a good combination with a Myconid and after that a freezing spell, as the enemy is disabled for such a long time. That is quite crazy. Lightning I'm not using. I was using him at the first stage against the towers, but not to recommend. And next we have Tornado. Tornado, not the best one, but it is okay to use to get into the circle of lockdowns of the enemy when you freezing him using Myconid and a Tornado. And you need to try it. Maybe you can even distract the Myconid from your team with a Tornado. I tried it this morning, but nobody was using a Myconid against me. So maybe you know it and can write in the comment section. Coming to Rage, and that is definitely the spell which I have underrated the most. It is only at level 2, and at level 1 it would have the same, the same effect, or nearly the same effect, causing the enraged buff for 4 seconds. On level 2 it's 4.2 seconds, and I'm using him whenever I'm in front of the enemy's tower to kill the tower as fast as possible, and it is working so pretty good, and it's just awesome. As next we have, or at least we have, the War Golem here, which I'm using, as well as the Golems. War Golem summons a massive War Golem to fight for you, and the Golems that are the smaller version summons 3 small golems to fight for you. The golems are tough, but their health decreases over time. So how should you use them now? For sure, you can place them directly in the enemies. You can place them on your lane to kill the enemies, but that's not a good idea. If you are on the head, for sure, you can place the big golem at the enemy at your tower, but that is not the good or best way to use them. Most of the time, you can use them at the tower. When the enemy is in the lead, we will see that in a video soon. And short before the enemy destroys the tower, you can place them as far behind as possible behind the enemy units. And when they destroy the tower, most likely the next opponent on his lane will be too far away and they will focus the golems or the golem. So they are turning around, keep on running down the lane, and for sure golem as well as the golems will die quite fast, but they are running backwards in the other direction, and as soon as they are close to defeat the golems or the golem, you place Sludge in front of the enemy heroes and they will be slowed by focusing back on the lane, and that is so overpowered right now. It's really the perfect tactic for comeback fights. As next we have Daze here, and quite similar to the Myconid, it is really cheap, costs only 2 mana, and I'm using it directly at the start of the game as Daze's enemies decreasing their attack and movement speed for the duration of the spell. So they will take longer, and for my personal feeling, the slowdown is quite good, as it is for 4 seconds, but the decrease of the attack speed is even more, or is really massive as well, as they need so long to defeat the enemies at their line enemies at the beginning, and it's useful in front of towers as well, as with the normal auto attacks they are massively slowed down. And for sure you should have seen it in parallel. It is quite hard, as the circle for Daze is small, to catch all the enemies, but there you should focus definitely on the ranged heroes. For sure it would be good to hit them all, but if they are too spread from each other, focus on the backline on the ranged heroes. So that's the heroes which I am using right now. At the beginning I have used Burn as well to separate a little bit your line, to catch the enemies towards your position and kill them with an AoE damage. Then you can push a little bit further, but I'm using right now preferred definitely the Daze spell, as he costs only 2 mana as well, and that's really good to cycle. So as you have now seen some sequences of the different spells, how I'm using them, let's talk about a fight which I've had this morning, and I've pre-recorded it, and it was really intense, and that was perfectly comeback with the Golem Sludge combo. So let's start into the fight. And it was against RT493, greetings out from New Beginnings. And we are starting, we have Freeze Golems, Sludge, Myconid and the Rage equipped. And as you can see, I've had a little bit of a head start, and now I just try to save as long as possible mana, as the Golem Sludge combination works the best directly after another, and it costs in total 7 mana. So there we got frozen again. And as you can see, RT is far ahead of us, but now my turn will come right after the first tower. The first half wants the enemy, and now as you can see, he destroys the tower even with Rage, and we place the golems far behind him. And the Sludge could have been a little bit better if we placed him just a few centimeters and more in the front. And as you can see, we already took the lead there, jumping in with auto, and now even missed the good call hero power there, but it's okay. It will be obtainable soon for the last big tanks, where it is really important, as is causing magical damage. And there you can see the call attack causing a lot of damage. And now we are quite even if you compare the health points. He has already defeated the enemy's big crossbow there. And now my turn has come, as we have 4 mana right in time ready, using the Rage spell. And as you can see, the tower, even our hero powers of lures were not ready, dies quite fast. So that was the perfect example for a nice comeback fight. And as you could see, the Golem combination together with Sludge, the Golems were perfectly placed, but the Sludge could have been a little bit better, a little bit more in the front position to make it even a little bit better. And this is one of my favorite tactics, and it is working quite good. So that have been now the different spells I am using. I know Incinerate, which is obtainable from level 21, using some guys I think at the hero race as well. I don't have unlocked it, that's why I cannot tell you something about it, but these are my favorite spells here. Surge to unlock hero powers or boost them, that you the charge that you can obtain in quite early, may be good as well, but I am using the other ones. So that's it about today's thematic. What are your ideas about the spells? Please let me know in the comment section. Whenever you have a question, just ask me and I will answer you in the comment section. So thank you guys for tuning in, really appreciate it, and I wish you all the best, and see you in tomorrow's video. Then we will look at the weekend event. So see you then.